All right, hey, what's up, everybody? Back. I haven't done an HGH update in probably a month because I said on that last video that if I have something to tell you, I'll come back and tell you. And if not, it's just business as usual. So I've actually got a little bit of news as far as some numbers I just got off my most recent blood panel. So I'm going to talk about that here in a second. If you don't know, my name is Rob. I'm just an average dude. I started taking peptides it's been almost a year and a half ago, and then that was ibamorelin and CJC 1295, and then I converted over to HGH. I've been doing that, I think, for 3 months now, something along those lines, maybe 4. I had to take some time off because of COVID during that, but I got my first blood. Oh, subscribe if you haven't already. I forgot that part. I got my first blood panel back since I started the HGH. Now, I do this typically every 6 months through my doctor. My doctor is the one that prescribes all of this stuff to me. I'm not recommending any of it. Talk to whoever takes care of your medical stuff before you decide to do any of this stuff. I think that's the disclaimer you're supposed to put on. Just check with your doctor. So a couple of things I want to mention. One is I did a recent in-body scan. I don't have it here in front of me, but my body fat percentage was down about 2 percentage points from the last time that I went in and did my scan, which was before the HGH. So I like seeing that my body fat percentage is down. Now, it's not down as low as it got during the peptide experiment. So it's hard to tell right now if that peptide experiment, whenever it hit that low, if that was just a fluke, a bad reading, or what. But really glad to see a positive decrease in my body fat percentage. It's one of the first ones I've had in a long time if you've watched my other videos. So that was a good thing. In fact, one of the things that was really nice about it was muscle was up and fat was down. So really nice to see that happening again. I changed my regimen of HGH just a little bit. I was at about 2.3 IU. I am at about 3 IU right now. So I've upped that and that's only been a change within the last probably 2 weeks that I've changed that. And part of that's because I had to take some additional time off for different things. So I'm just messing with the dosage just a little bit. My doctor still has me at about 2.3. I'm not going to do 3 for very long. I just it's a little bit of a winging it, trying to get caught up type of thing. Just going to stay kind of in this range, and then I'll go back to my normal dosing. No side effects whatsoever still. Every time I do the pinning, I'm waiting for it because, as you know, with the CJC 1295 and ibamorelin, things got weird and scary with the side effects. So I'm always kind of still waiting. I'm scarred. I'm traumatized from that, but nothing. I don't get any sort of itching. I get no sort of anything at the injection site, nothing. So it's really kind of nice as far as that goes. Now let's talk about some of the numbers that we're seeing from the blood panel as far as now that I've been on HGH for 3 or 4 months after the peptides, how are things going? I'm not going to show you this because it's all on my screen here and it's all, personal stuff, but I'm going to tell you what the numbers are. So my IGF-1 number, let me make sure I'm getting my dates right. My IGF-1 in August of 2023, so talking 6 months ago, was 222, all right? That was my number, 222. My new test number, or not test, but my new IGF-1 number from my blood test is up slightly to 228. Now, I'm fine with this number. This number is still good for somebody my age, 46. Usually with this number, you're seeing it decline more in my age range. So I'm glad to see, one, that it went up just a little bit. I don't want it to get too crazy, right? Because I know that there are associated risks with that. So I'm glad to see that this is my first IGF-1 comparison and it's up just a little bit. So I love seeing that. My testosterone numbers, there's actually a couple of very interesting things in here. My testosterone number is good. It's still hovering around 787, which is nice. It's actually up a little bit from my last scan. I don't remember what my number was. I don't have it down right here, but 787 is good for me. That's typically for me about the high range of where I'm usually at. Couple of interesting things, though, that I did not expect to happen. One is my estradiol, the estrogen, is high. And this is the first time that we've tested for this since we started doing the HGH. I don't think that I'm just looking through my list. I don't think I have anything else in here whatsoever. So it popped back kind of high. Oh, no. Here's an older one from 2022. What was it then? 2022 is a 26. All right. So well within range. Now here in 2024, it's at a 61, so not quite tripled. So obviously the HGH, and this is a pretty common side effect. So what we are doing is I have now been put on a blocker. So I just took my first dose for today. I picked it up yesterday. So it's kind of a weird thing because, one, I've noticed it. I felt emotional over the last couple of months, and that's why I told my doctor to please keep an eye on this, and it popped obviously high. So there's definitely a correlation there. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with this. If it makes my test go up just a little bit, if it changes my desire to cry for no reason. So But this was something that I had known was a possibility because it is a common effect from what I understand from doing HGH. So that also is a signal for me maybe that HGH is actually doing maybe what it's supposed to do. That was part of the problem with the peptides is you could never tell if it was doing what it was supposed to do. This, I've actually got some numbers here that you can correlate and say this is a pretty typical thing whenever the HGH is working that your estrogen has a chance of going up. And so glad to see that. Now, part of that could also be I'm aging. I'm 2 years older. I was 44 in that last one. But to me, this feels more in line with the HGH that I'm doing now for that. A couple of other things that were sort of interesting here. One was my vitamin D was too low, which I've been through that. It's because I'm not taking my supplements. My thyroid was actually just a little bit higher. This is something I've been struggling with since 2019. My new number here was at this is my TSH number, 5.95. Now, that's not the highest it's ever been. If I go back to some of my older tests, if I find an old TSH, here's one that was 6.08. So it's not high, and it's almost within range, but we decided to go ahead and up my dosing for my levothyroxine, just a little bit of upping the dosage to that, just to kind of see what happens. And to be fair, I haven't been good about taking that medicine. Actually, I just typically don't take it. But my numbers are still high, and this has been a consistent thing for me for almost 4 years, so I need to get this under control at some point. And also my cholesterol LDL popped a little bit high this time. Now, I do have a history of genetics, heart problems in my family, so it's something that I'll certainly have to keep an eye. It wasn't like real high, but it was higher than maybe we had seen in the past. So going to keep an eye on that. Obviously, I live well, I eat well, so this could just very much just be a genetics thing. Again, something that we'll have to kind of monitor. But seeing some really nice things from an aesthetic standpoint, I feel like I am different. I actually look like I'm different in my face. And I know HGH can have that effect on people. Now, look, I'm trying to take care of my face. I'm putting moisturizer and all sorts of stuff on it. But it feels like I felt really good actually this past weekend. I thought I looked better than I have in a long time, both in sort of my face and in my body structure. Part of that's because I'm losing some of that body fat percentage. I just feel good pretty much overall right now. So things are working real well. I just wanted to give you guys an update. Again, not recommending any of this stuff. I do recommend always, if you're going to consider it, to talk to your medical provider or your primary or whatever it is, whoever's in charge of your thing. But this is probably one of the best scans that I've had in a long time since I started the peptides back almost a year and a half ago. And so really excited right now about what this means. So I had committed really to only about 6 months of this process of HGH. Being that I'm on like month 3 or 4, I've only got 2 or 3 left, and then I'll make another decision at that time what I'm going to do next. So really excited to see kind of what happens here over the course of the next month. Oh, also my weight is almost down to almost a year and a half low. I haven't been able to clip 250 to go under 250 since I started peptides pretty much. Even whenever I hit my low body fat, I think I was still like 251 or something like that. And I hit 250 this morning, which is incredible because I was drinking all day Saturday. So, hey, maybe it's the HGH doing some sort of magic. I don't know. But again, if you haven't already, hit subscribe. I'm just some random dude. I don't have any peptides or HGH to sell you. I'm just documenting my journey. Hopefully it'll help you figure out, if something like this might be good for you or maybe not good for you. I don't know. I'm not saying either way. That's it. Thanks y'all so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video. Peace out.